Dale Earnhardt Jr. has never been one to bite his tongue, but this time, he went off like a firecracker in a gas can. Two big name drivers, two fiery crashes, and one NASCAR legend calling it exactly how he sees it. No sugarcoating, no sidestepping, just pure unfiltered truth. It all blew up at the Chicago street race, the kind of chaos you couldn't script if you tried. But the moment that set everything ablaze, Ross Chastain slamming into Joey Logano in turn 2. It looked like retaliation. It felt like revenge. But the truth behind it? Oh, it's messier than you think. Let me explain. Chastain had just been shoved into the tire barrier. Nothing new for the number 1 car, who seems to draw contact like a magnet draws nails. But instead of checking his mirrors and watching a replay, Chastain went full wrecking ball. He turned around and dumped Joey Logano, who never even saw it coming. Here's the kicker. Logano wasn't the guy who caused the pileup. That honor goes to Austin Cindric, who flew into turn 1 like he was trying to break the sound barrier. His rear tires locked, his car bouncing like a skipping stone, and boom, chain reaction. Cindric crashes into Chastain, who thinks it's Logano, and Logano gets wrecked by a driver who wasn't even mad at the right person. It's a NASCAR domino chain of chaos. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had seen enough. Ross Chastain destroyed Logano and Stenhouse, Dale said on the Dale Jr. Download. And now I bet Ross feels pretty crummy having seen a replay of how that all went down. But that wasn't the punch. The real gut check? What he said about Austin Cindric. I love this guy, Earnhardt said, laughing. But he totally stepped on his dick right there. Dale was watching the replay. Car 2 flying into the corner, tires locked, chaos brewing. It was just like Kyle Busch in the rain at Mexico, he said. But there wasn't no excuse. And Chastain? He gets shoved, slams a wall, bounces back like a pinball, and still manages to drop Logano, then somehow ends up 7th. 7th! You wreck 2 cars, cause a street fight in turn 2, and still walk away in the top 10? That's the most Ross Chastain thing ever, Dale added. Logano, for his part, didn't hold back. He lit up his team radio like a Christmas tree, accusing Chastain of intentional wrecking. And let's be honest, when you're Joey Logano, and you just got wrecked by a guy who thought you were someone else, you've got every right to be pissed. Post-race, it got ugly. Pit road showdown. Logano storming up to Chastain, getting in his face, words flying. Then, to the press. He dropped the bomb. Chastain admitted to doing it on purpose. That should have been a scandal, a fine, a suspension maybe. But Dale Earnhardt Jr.? He saw right through it. It's like a tree falling in the woods, he said. If nobody hears it, does it make a sound? Joey wanted people to know. He didn't care about the fine. He didn't want NASCAR's justice. He wanted public validation. He just wants us to know Ross admitted it, Dale said. That somehow makes him feel better. It's like high school drama on pit road, and just when you thought it couldn't get more absurd, there's another twist. Because Dale wasn't done, not even close. On the Xfinity side of the garage, another storm was brewing, and this one? It hit even closer to home. Shane Van Gisbergen versus Connor Zilisch. 2 teammates, 1 team owner, and that owner? None other than Dale Earnhardt Jr. They were lined up for a late restart, side by side. Van Gisbergen muscled Zilisch out of the way and took the win. No finesse, no respect, just a shove and gone. I walked up to Zilisch, Dale said, and I said, "Hey man, he ran you pretty dirty there." He didn't expect it. No one did. SVG has a reputation. Clean, calculated, and smooth. Not a bumper thrower, not a wall pusher. And that's when Dale said it. Boy, I'm glad I didn't say over the radio what I was going to. He was going to tell Zilisch not to worry about SVG, that he's not the kind of guy to push someone around. But he did, Dale said. He absolutely did. Now Earnhardt had 2 drivers, one in victory lane, one stunned on pit road, and both racing for his team. How do you handle that? You face it head on. You don't lie. You don't sugarcoat. Because that's not how Dale Earnhardt Jr. does business. If I'm standing there wearing the owner's hat, Dale said, I've got to go. I didn't expect him to run you into the wall. That was pretty crummy. Because that's exactly what happened. Then he walks over to victory lane. And yeah, he's going to high-five SVG. He's going to celebrate the win, but deep down, he's got questions. Why did Van Gisbergen drive that way? Has something changed? Is the code of respect on the track breaking down? Because what Dale saw in Chicago wasn't just racing, it was emotional warfare on wheels. Zilisch will learn from it. He has to. Dale said it himself. The kid is already a better road racer than he ever was. And now, he knows exactly what to expect. As for Dale Earnhardt Jr., he's not backing down. Not from the truth, not from the chaos, not from the hard conversations. Because when it comes to NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt Jr. doesn't play politics. He calls it like it is. In the end, Dale Earnhardt Jr. didn't just unload on a couple of drivers. He cracked open the deeper truth hiding in plain sight. NASCAR today isn't just about speed and strategy. It's about emotion, ego, identity. And sometimes those things slam into each other harder than any wall on track. Ross Chastain might have been caught up in the moment, but what does it say about a sport where instincts overrule facts, where retaliation comes before reflection? And what about Joey Logano? Was he seeking justice, or just needing the court of public opinion to rule in his favor? Then there's Shane Van Gisbergen, a driver who once stood for clean moves and racing code, suddenly shoving his way to a win, even if it meant sending his teammate into the wall. If that's what it takes to win now, where does that leave drivers like Connor Zilisch? Young, talented, and trying to play fair in a game that seems more cutthroat by the week. Dale stood in the middle of it all, not as a passive bystander, but as a truth teller forced to juggle loyalty, legacy, and leadership. He wasn't just talking to drivers, he was talking to us, reminding us that behind every helmet and fire suit, these are people. People who make mistakes, take hits, and carry the weight of their choices lap after lap. Maybe that's why fans keep watching, not just for the checkered flag, but for the chaos that comes before it. For the moments when tempers flare and true character gets revealed. So where do we go from here? Do we celebrate the chaos or call for accountability? Should NASCAR step in or let drivers police themselves? And more importantly, will Dale Earnhardt Jr. keep speaking up even when it puts him in the hot seat? Because as long as he does, one thing's for certain, the silence will never win. Now it's your turn. Was Dale right to call them out? Or has NASCAR just become a battlefield where honor's the first thing to crash? Sound off below. The debate's wide open,